Hello, this is Bob Schindler, and welcome to today's Casual Friday version of 5-Minute Messages. It may not be Friday when you are watching this, but it clearly, by my outfit, is Friday when I'm recording it. Today I want to talk about legislative updates. In particular, as you're probably aware, there has been a flurry of legislative activity this year. And so we want to talk about some bills that have gone through our legislature already in the first 5 months of this year, bills that impact schools in significant ways. The first one I want to talk about is the repeal of the Freedom to Work law, or Right to Work. This is Public Act 8. It has been passed and signed by our governor, but does not have immediate effect, and I'm going to talk about what that means in a little bit. But the Right to Work repeal means that very little for public schools. Our Supreme Court in the Janus case says that public employees have a First Amendment right not to associate with unions if they so choose. So currently, there is little impact by the repeal of Right to Work for public school employers, but if Janus were to ever get overturned or modified in some way, it very well could. Employees of public schools would still have the right to opt out and cannot be forced to pay union dues to support unions at this time. The next piece of legislation is the repeal of, the re-edition of the Prevailing Wage Act. This is something that was repealed previously and now put back in. It requires that public construction projects pay a prevailing wage, or in essence, what the average union wage in the area would be. This is Public Act 10. It's important to note that, one, this is also not with immediate effect, and two, that school construction projects would be considered relevant projects under prevailing wage. So in the future, if you're passing a bond or doing construction work, this is going to be something that will matter because it will impact the pricing of those projects. Public Act 7 was a repeal or maybe modification of the third grade reading law. Public Act 7 keeps supports for students who are not up to grade on reading. It replaces some notices, modifies notices. It used to be we had to report to the state or to SEPI. Now it requires these reports go to the parents. But the important part is it does remove the requirement for retention if a student is not up to grade in reading it by the third grade. That one also did not pass with immediate effect. House Bill 4166, which has been passed by both houses, has not been signed by the governor yet. So it does not have a Public Act number yet, but this was the repeal of the A through F grading system. In that case, it repealed that process where you have to give schools an A through F grade. It does still include certain things like the school index, the state school dashboard, but the A through F is removed. That was passed with immediate effect, but again, it has not been signed by the governor as of yet. And then finally, Senate Bill 63, which has again passed both houses, has been presented to the governor just on May 2nd, I believe it was, but has not been signed by the governor yet. This law would allow school districts to use sinking fund dollars for buses and other vehicles, including other school-owned vehicles that aren't buses, and includes even the maintenance of those vehicles as well. All of those we could use sinking funds for that, for those purchases or repairs. That one was also given immediate effect, and so once it's signed by the governor, will become effective immediately. The other ones that were not passed with immediate effect, those won't go into effect until 91 days after the end of the legislative period. So if the legislative period, let's say, ends December 31st, they wouldn't go into effect until March 30th. That is your update for now. Stay tuned because not too long I will also be providing an update on some bills that haven't passed yet but are in the legislature. In particular, those bills dealing with prohibited subjects of bargaining and what kind of impact the passage of those bills could have on your bargaining process and on your school district. Thank you very much.